The speaking section is one of the most difficult sections on which to take notes because you have such little time to actually prepare your notes. What's more, on 2 of the 6 tasks, you must read a passage and even listen to an audio clip before you can even say your response. Fortunately, this means that many of the listening note-taking tips given to you should work well for the speaking section also. But are there any other tips you can use for taking good notes on the speaking, you ask? Absolutely. Let's talk about the top 2 tips for note taking on the TOEFL speaking section. On each independent speaking question, task 1 and 2, the prompt will ask for your opinion on a topic by requiring you to speak about a personal experience or preference. Now, for these questions, you'll only have 15 seconds to take notes and prepare your answers. With such a short time frame, you'll need to get right to the heart of your response. So in your notes, focus on getting down your 2 or 3 main points. A ballot list works well here. In a couple of examples you can use to illustrate these points. You'll want to sound as natural as possible when you speak, so avoid writing out full sentences. And we talked about that in the general tips. For tasks 3 and 4, the first 2 integrated speaking tasks, in addition to using your speaking skills, you must read a short passage and listen to a lecture or conversation on the same topic. Because you may not read that passage more than once on this section, I strongly recommend taking notes during both the reading and listening segments. One solid note-taking method is to draw a chart. In this case, one column will be for your notes on the reading, and you can label that R for passage, and the other will be for notes on the listening, and you can label that L for clip. Unfortunately, here you'll only have 45 to 50 seconds to read the passage. So, as you read, quickly note the main idea and any major points it makes or examples it uses. Now, with question 3, you must listen to a conversation between 2 speakers about a campus issue. So here, by dividing your listening column into 2 sub-columns, you can especially note what the female, and we'll label that F for speaker, and the male, and we'll label that M for speaker, are saying to each other. And I have gave you an example of how to draw a chart with columns and how to label it within your course material. With question 4, you'll listen to a lecture instead of a conversation. Therefore, you must take note of how the professor defines and explains a particular academic concept or term. You'll then have 30 seconds to prepare your response, during which time you should look at the chart in your notes and work on briefly outlining the 2 or 3 main points. And if you have more than that, you can just circle the ones that you're going to discuss. As for the final 2 speaking tasks, both involve audio clips without reading passages. So it's best to refer to the listening tips for guidance for this.